Yo, what is up guys? LostNUnbound here, and today we've got my predictions for the NBA 2K15 top 10 teams in terms of ratings. You might be saying, wait a second, Lost. If I want to see the top 10 teams, I can just go look at a power ranking and see which teams are the top 10 best, but that is not the same as ratings. Some teams might have a ton of great players on there, but there is no chemistry, so they cannot win titles. So there is a major difference between a highly rated team and a winning team. Sometimes they go together, sometimes they don't. Now, number one this year is actually pretty tough. The past 2 or 3 seasons, people could just say, oh, the Miami Heat, number one, and then after that it gets tough. This year, not exactly. Now, Lebron to the Cleveland Cavaliers, that is huge. But is that enough to make them number one? Now, the San Antonio Spurs did win the title. Does that make them number one? Does that automatically make them the top rated team? Whole bunch of questions, but this is what I've got to say. In my opinion, it will be the Cleveland Cavaliers that will be getting the top rated team for NBA 2K15. Does this mean that I think they'll win the whole title next season? I can't say that. I'm not too sure, to be honest. If I had to predict, I would say not next season. But in terms of talent, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, Andrew Wiggins, possibly even Kevin Love, if they do trade Wiggins for Kevin Love, those are all players who have always had high ratings in 2K and 2K14 and 2K13, with the exception of Andrew Wiggins because he is a rookie this season. So with all of that talent on one team, I think they're going to be stacked in 2K. I think that will be the number one team on the list. Moving on to number 2, and this is where it gets kind of tough, guys. Some people might say the Spurs, some people might say the Clippers. I'm not just saying this because I'm a Thunder fan. I truly do believe in terms of ratings, the OKC Thunder take the number 2 spot. KD, he might be a 99. He won the MVP, he won the SB Best NBA Player, the awards go on. He should be a 99 overall this season. Russell Westbrook, maybe a 91, maybe a 92, somewhere along that path. Serge Ibaka maybe around an 86. So because of that big 3, I think they'll take the number 2 spot for ratings. Now at number 3, I'm pretty stuck between the Clippers and the Spurs. The Clippers have a more stacked team in terms of pure talent with Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, all of those talents. But you know what? I don't think that the NBA champions can fall down the list too much. So I think the Spurs will be landing at number 3. They are an amazing team. Some people say, oh, they're too old. I'm sure that's going to hurt their rating just a tad bit, the fact that their players are old. But when they play together, they're such a synced, well-developed basketball team. Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is just phenomenal. The Finals MVP, the list goes on. They are an extremely stacked and deep team. So in my opinion, it will be the San Antonio Spurs at number 3. With that being said, we've got the Clippers, the Los Angeles Clippers at number 4. Now, like I said before, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, so many other players, DeAndre Jordan, Matt Barnes, JJ Redick. They are a deep team with all of that talent. To be honest, I do not see them falling out of the top 4 spots. And you know, after number 4, things get a little bit tougher. Like I said, the Cleveland Cavaliers, they have some stars on their team. LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, possibly Kevin Love. OKC Thunder at 2, KD, Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka. The Spurs, Tony Parker, Tim Duncan. The Clippers, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin. All of those top 4 teams have at least 2 players who can be considered a star. Now once you move to number 5, number 6, things get a little bit shaky. And one last thing before I get to number 5, let me know your top 10 lists down below in the comment section. I want to hear what you guys have to say, because I might be wrong. There is a very good chance that I'm wrong about a couple of these, and a lot of times you guys will have good ideas. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Now my number 5, I will admit, is a bit risky, but I'm going to have to go ahead and say the Chicago Bulls. Now this is if Derrick Rose can stay healthy. Now, going into the season, 2K is assuming that Derrick Rose is healthy and that his rating is going to be a 91, 92, somewhere along those lines. They've also got Pau Gasol. Don't forget, Pau Gasol is a good player, guys. He's a great player, probably somewhere around the low 80s. They've got Joakim Noah, Jimmy Butler. The list goes on. So they're not a top 4 team in my opinion in terms of ratings, but I do think they will get around the number 5 spot for 2K ratings. Now, to be honest, in my opinion, number 5 and 6 are a bit interchangeable. I would go ahead and put the Golden State Warriors. They've got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes, Andre Iguodala, David Lee, Andrew Bogut. Their team is off their charts. And I know a lot of you guys might be saying, hold up, Lost. Why are they not number 5? They should be way ahead of the Chicago Bulls. There is one thing holding me back from putting the Warriors at number 5, and that is their lack of defense. The Bulls are an amazing defensive team. Most of you guys, if you watch basketball, you probably already know that. Their defense is just amazing. It's outstanding. The Warriors, yeah, they've got Andrew Bogut, who gets injured every other game. Stephen Curry, not the best defender. Same thing with Klay Thompson. Andre Iguodala, a good defender. I wouldn't say as good as he was a few years ago. So overall, the defense for the Warriors is a sad bit shaky. That is the main thing holding them back from being a top 5 team, so I put them at number 6. Now at number 7, and this is another team that could have been at number 6 or 5, I'm going to put the Houston Rockets. James Harden, Dwight Howard, they've got a ton of talent, but they did lose their starting point guard in Jeremy Lin. That was a pretty funny situation, guys. They thought they were going to get Chris Bosh, so they traded away Jeremy Lin for practically nothing. Almost nothing to create cap space, and they gave him to the Lakers. That takes a bit of a hit on their ratings. I know you guys might be saying, wait a second, Jeremy Lin's not a star. Jeremy Lin's not their best player. Why does it matter? He was still a good player, and when it's so close between the Warriors and the Rockets and even the Bulls, that decision might push them back to number 7. And they're another team that can score at a high level, but they do have some defensive holes and problems. Moving on to number 8. Now this was a tough one. You saw the Miami Heat at number 1 in 2K14. It's kind of crazy to see this big of a fall this year, but you know what? In my opinion, number 8 might even be a sad bit generous, but we'll give it up to them because they did hold on to Chris Bosh and of course Dwayne Wade. They got Shabazz Napier, not the biggest pickup, but still, it adds up. Mario Chalmers, they did lose Mike Miller, and to be honest guys, I really do think it's just Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade that are going to help give them that rating at number 8. It's tough to predict because we have not really seen them much with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, but without LeBron James. It should be pretty interesting to see how that plays out, but we put them at number 8. Moving on to number 9, this is well deserved. If this team's not number 9, then they are a higher, maybe 8, maybe even 7. I'm going to go with the Portland Trail Blazers. One of the most underrated teams in the league. Damian Lillard, Wesley Matthews, Nicholas Batum, LaMarcus Aldridge. LaMarcus Aldridge is so underrated, guys. This is pretty much the home of underrated players. Even Nicholas Batum, like I said, he's a great player. Not too many people know about him. Now, they do have some problems at the center position, but hey, every team's got a problem. That doesn't hurt them too much. They've got great three-point shooters in Lillard and Batum. Even Wesley Matthews is a great three-point shooter. LaMarcus Aldridge as well. LaMarcus Aldridge is phenomenal with this post game. He can hit the mid-range jumper. The team is overall a solid squad. So they're not one of those teams that is only great at three-point shooting, only great at defense. They are well-rounded, and that puts them at number 9. Now, number 10, I will say, was tough. I was down to the Brooklyn Nets, the Toronto Raptors, and the Dallas Mavericks. Now, at the end of the day, I will be going with the Toronto Raptors at number 10. Kyle Lowry, phenomenal point guard. DeMar DeRozan, not only the high flyer that can dunk, but now he has developed more into a true shooting guard. They've got Terrence Ross, they've got Amir Johnson, Jonas Valanciunas. They've got so much young talent. They're just progressing more and more every year. And you know, they almost beat the Nets last year in the first round. Almost beat them, pulled it to game 7, but they did show a great performance. Now the Nets, I'm not going to put them here because they did lose Paul Pierce. They got a bit older. Brook Lopez, his foot, it's a bit shaky with the injuries. So that's a bit of a long shot. I'm going to keep them right outside the top 10. Same situation with the Dallas Mavericks. I'm putting them right outside the top 10. Probably at number 11. But like I said before, guys, let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Who is your top 10? who do you think will be the top 10 teams in NBA 2K15? But I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. If you did, and if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you leave a like down below. And if you want, you can give me some other topics that you think I should talk about for NBA 2K15. And who knows, you might see it in the next 2K15 video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to join LNU Nation for your #1 source of all NBA 2K14, my GM mode, my team, and tons more to come. Follow me on Twitter at LostNUnbound. That is the best place to reach me. My Twitch channel will be in the description. And as always, guys, I'm LostNUnbound, and have a great day. Peace out. Now, when I think about the most balanced player in the NBA, I generally will think about LeBron James. But you know what? This season, it was KD. In my opinion, KD should be #1 in the rankings for the rosters in NBA 2K15. Now, this does not necessarily mean that he's the best player out of the two,